Hello y'all, this is Jay Scoop from Diamond and Sticks YouTube channel, and I figured I'd make a video showing y'all how I make my Mississippi style pot roast. It's not exactly how a Mississippian would make a pot roast because I used roast beef and I used roast beef tips for my meat, and that's one thing different that they would not do. In Mississippi down south, they have a lot of swamp areas, which I know I say all the time that I live in a swamp area, but I really don't. I mean, not like nothing like down south or nothing like that. And we don't have like wild boar pigs or nothing like that around here in this part of Kentucky, eastern Kentucky. I don't know how far up the wild boars and pigs go. I'd say just up to like maybe Georgia, maybe South Carolina, but I doubt it. I don't know, I'm not sure. But anyways, so that's one thing different. I'm gonna call this a Mississippi pot roast, but it's not identical to how a Mississippian would make a pot roast. They're Mississippi pot roast or nothing. But also, I add a couple things to it that they wouldn't necessarily add. So anyways, we'll talk about that. So basically, you gotta make sure whenever you're cooking or anything, you got your hands cleaned and washed, and I already did that. And then I put this under padding down because it helps catch like the mess, makes it a little bit easier on me as far as cleaning goes. And then I'm just cooking in my crock pot that I have, using what I have to work with or whatever. And so I used one big old roast, and then I also used beef tips, like steak tips. And I put that on the bottom of the pan, or the bottom of my crock. And then after I did that, I used a good proportion, good healthy serving, covering it all up with this paper here. After I did that, I just used a little bit of salt. And I know I'm friends with a lot of people on YouTube here, and also there's a lot of people who are my viewers on YouTube, and they have the POTS disease where they have to add more salt to their food and stuff. But and I actually have a family member, a little cousin that has that too. But I'm going to tell you right now, y'all don't have to add salt to anything that I fix, because anything I make is going to be not healthy for you, and it's going to be a lot of salt in it anyways. So anyways, after you put your salt and your pepper on your beef or whatever type of meat you're using, if this was an actual Mississippi style pot roast, they would use some kind of pork is what they'd be using. But anyways, this is my version of it, and I'm using beef. And so after you use your salt and your pepper, you can start putting all your other seasonings. And so, or you can put your butter. And I used a whole stick of butter. Really all it calls for is a half a stick of butter. But after I put my butter on, whenever I put it in, it really don't matter, because it's all going to be just in your crock overnight or however long together. So after you put your stick of butter in, or your half a stick of butter is what you're supposed to use, and I always buy salted butter anyways, but I cover the whole stick of butter up with paper because I like paper. And then after that, I used 1 pack of this ranch seasoning or ranch dip, whatever you want to call it. And then, because I went grocery shopping tonight on Sunday night, and they was rushing me out of the store. I didn't have no time to shop at all. They was rushing me and the other people out of the grocery store, all the other customers. And so I didn't get what I was supposed to get. So I just grabbed something right fast. And so I grabbed a package of this onion dip mix. And I was supposed to grab the onion soup mix, but I already added this to the pot. And so it wasn't what I was exactly wanting. So I went ahead and got this minced onion, and I added a ton of that in there to it after I added that package of onion dip mix, so it would taste like the onion soup mix. And if you're doing this the regular way of making a Mississippi style pot roast, you won't be adding your onion anything to it, onion soup mix or your dry onion, minced onions to it. So that's something different. And then I added, I added 1 package of this au jus gravy mix. And it's just like the cheapest one that they had. But this right here, if I'm pronouncing it the right way, it's au jus. I think it's supposed to be French gravy mix. I just added 1 package of that, and I didn't get the fancy kind. Just got what was cheap. And I added 1 package of this, or 2 packages of this brown gravy mix. Because reason why I put 2 packages of that in is because I put 1 jar of these peppuccino, the whole peppuccinos in, those things right there, and the juice. I put the whole juice in it, so that's why I added. Normally, you'd probably only put like, well, if you're making this the Mississippi style, you'd probably only put your au jus, 1 package of your au jus in it. But where I'm making it my way, and where I added so much of that peppuccino juice, I put in 2 packages of the brown gravy mix. So anyways, after you do that, I took me a 1/2 cup container. That's a 1/2 cup right there. And a spoon. And you wouldn't be doing this if you're going to do it the Mississippi style either, the actual Mississippi style. You wouldn't do this part, but this is how I do it. Anyways, because I love garlic. I love spicy stuff. And so I dipped out 1/2 cup of my garlic, minced garlic, and then I put that in the pot, 1/2 cup. And then after I did that, I just took a regular water and I just put maybe like just a little drizzle. That's all I used was a little drizzle, because where I used so much butter and I used so much of the peppercini juice that came in it, and also an extra pack of the brown gravy mixed. So that's why I put a little bit of the water in there. And you just kind of watch it and let it go, let it cook or whatever. But that's all I use. Now, if you're going to do this the Mississippi style, all you would do, you would get your pork instead of beef. Whatever you was going to use for that. You would salt and pepper it a little bit, not much. And then you would put 1 package of, you probably wouldn't even use salt and pepper if you're doing it the actual Mississippi way of doing things. You would probably just use 1 package of your dry ranch. You would use 1 package of your au jus gravy, and then you would do half juice of your peppuccini, and you would put maybe like 8 to 11 peppuccini pieces on top of your pork, and that would probably be all if you was actually doing it the Mississippi style way. But this is just the way I do it whenever I'm doing it supposedly the Mississippi way. But this is my way of doing the Mississippi style pot roast. Also, I wanted to read this right fast to you all. This came off the jar of the pepperoncinis, if I'm saying it the right way. Forgive me, please, if I'm not. So anyways, it says, eat well, laugh often, love Mazita, or whatever. That's the name brand to the pepperoncinis. So anyways, I just wanted to show you all that. And then I will show you all later on what this looks like. This has to cook for a long time. Probably about 10 hours in my crock pot to be nice and tender. And then about halfway in, about 5 hours, I'm going to open this up and I'm going to check it and see how tender it is, and probably flip it over, see what it's looking like. And at that point, I'll look and see. I can't close that, I gotta hold the camera, but At that point, I'll look and see if I need to add some more water, but you're not going to overdo it with no water or juices or nothing like that. But like I said, I put a lot of garlic in because I like the spices and I like that stuff. Anyways, I'll get off of here and talk to y'all later. That's what it looks like so far. Talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. I'll show you my plated up version of it later. Bye bye. Have a good night. Bye bye.